Good morning. The winner of the Eastern region is Eric Reise. Eric is a member of the Hermiston Rotary Club. That's right, where he's been a member for 23 years, and he also is a Paul Harris Fellow. You don't have to look very far into Eric's life to see the results of passion for and desire to do whatever is necessary to make the lives of everyone he meets better than they were before they met him. Eric has spent countless hours providing support and inspiration to young and old alike. The story he's going to relate to you is a small sample of what being a friend to everyone, including a chance meeting at his own Rotary Club, can provide to so many people. The power of collaboration and commitment will easily be seen in his story. Eric, can you come join me, please?
"23 years. I feel 23. Fellow Rotarians and guests. He was a slight man. His jacket was rumpled. He looked like he'd been on an airplane for a long time, sitting in car rides. He stood behind his hosts, shyly, a stranger in a strange land. I went up to him, and I reached out and I shook his hand, and I said, "Welcome to Hermiston Rotary." Little did I know that chance meeting would affect my life and make multiple Rotary moments since. His name was Gaston. He was from a district in Niger, West Africa. And he was a guest of District 5100 who was giving him tours. As I remember, when we shook hands, he said thank you and had an infectious smile. And we sort of made a connection in the eyes, if you've had those experiences. He gave a great presentation on educational programs that they were doing in their district, as well as sterilizing water using liter bottles, putting them on tin ropes. After his presentation, I wished him well and safe travels. In 2010, like many of you in this room, I went to PETS in Seattle. While I was there, walking around like we do here with all the projects, I came across one that touched me. It had a white tent and an iconic green box, and a simple mission, which was to provide shelter, warmth, and dignity to people that have been affected by disasters. I was so enthralled by it, I signed up to be an ambassador, a volunteer ambassador, which we need now. But since then, after that, I went through the process and got excited. In 2011, there happened to be the International Rotary Conference in New Orleans. I think many of you here have gone to those type of conferences, and you can imagine the energy of thousands of Rotarians from all over the world. And you also realize that when you go into a house of friendship, the aisleways are packed full of people. Well, I was wearing my little shelter box shirt, being the new guy for the group, walking around, and as I was walking down an aisleway, a gentleman was coming towards me. And it was one of those looks that, "I think I know you." "Yeah, I think I know you." It turned out to be Gaston. He was visiting. And he walked up to me, and in his broken English, he poked my shelter box shirt and said, "I need your help." In 2011, there was a conflict in Libya, as many of you may recall. Refugees were going to the Niger border, and he was asking for help because they had these refugees there. I'm the new guy, so I escorted him to our shelter box booth. There were shelter box representatives there from headquarters that also spoke French. My French isn't that good. And I left him on his way and did what I did. A few weeks later, I got an internal email that said we were doing our initial aid delivery of 50 boxes to the border of Niger. Holy Schmidt. The small-town Eastern Oregon boy meets a man from halfway across the world. We make a small connection. I go to a Pets event or a Rotary event, find a project that speaks to me. Then I come across a gentleman that I met 2 years earlier in a 2 years earlier on a chance meeting. And because of that contact, we affected lives. That was my Rotary moment. That was my aha moment that Rotary was more than just a word, that was also more than just going to lunches and dinners and so on. That's when I knew the Rotary mission. Since that time, if you want to know what happened to Gaston has been Shelterbox's point person in Niger. You can actually see him on our Shelterbox YouTube channel when we did our deployment videos. So that was great to see, because we've deployed a few times there. Obviously, now that I'm coming on, over a decade involved with Shelterbox, I'm up here. But there have been many other opportunities to help people. I've been amazed at the number of ordinary people doing extraordinary things in this world. And that's why I'm still a Rotarian and will continue to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And he is one of those extraordinary people, let me tell you. It is with great pleasure that I present to you the award check in the amount of $500. Tell us what you're going to do with it.
I'm going to Disneyland.
No, you're not.
Laura says I'm not. So one of the programs that I've gotten deeply involved with, or projects that have excited me over the past few years, was, and this is something District 5100 should be excited about, is that we have a program called Cascadia, which is a simulated deployment, as a Shelterbox deployment in Echo, Oregon, September 9th to the 11th. This district should be proud because this is only one of 3 training sites in the world for Shelterbox. So that's something to be proud of. And what I'll be doing with the $500 is also putting that to help with that project. So if there are some of you that are interested, talk to Laura or Jeannie, or Steve, or anyone else if you're interested in it, but we'd love to have you out there. So thank you. And then